Have you ever noticed that the older your phone gets, the more human it feels? The slightly blurry photos from a vintage digital camera somehow capture a moment better than your iPhone's perfect lens. Or how holding a vinyl record feels infinitely more satisfying than tapping a screen. Well, what if I told you that these seemingly random desires for old tech, for Polaroids, for flip phones, the tactile clunk of a Walkman, a word you have not heard in a while, aren't just about fashion or fleeting trends? What if they're actually signals of a much deeper, more profound shift happening in our society? A quiet rebellion against the very fabric of our digital, artificial, and overwhelming world. I'm going to show you how a collective yearning for the 1990s and early 2000s is revealing our fundamental human need for authenticity, privacy, and true connection in an increasingly post-reality landscape. If you're new here, I'm Shay. I'm a PhD candidate at Harvard, and I'm helping you stay and connect with humans in the age of AI. So, by the end of this video, you'll understand why this isn't just about looking back, but about powerfully shaping our future. Subscribe to my channel, save this video, and share this with someone who loves a good deep dive. Part 1. Let's start with the tangible evidence, because this isn't just a feeling. It's manifesting in concrete consumer choices and cultural touchstones all around us. Firstly, let's talk about cameras. Forget the hyper-realistic, AI-enhanced perfection of your smartphone camera. People are actively seeking out vintage digital cameras from the early 2000s. Think early Sony Cybershots, Canon PowerShots, and even the original Sony Mavica camera. Why? Because they offer that distinct, slightly imperfect, sometimes grainy aesthetic that feels authentic and uncurated. It's about the unique texture of the moment, not the polished facade. According to Digital Information World, the hashtag digital camera amassed over 220 million views on TikTok in 2022. And the demand isn't just online sentiment. eBay UK reported a 13% increase in searches for, quote, vintage digital camera, and a staggering 52% surge for refurbished cameras in late 2022. Even major brands like Fujifilm with their Instax line are leaning into this, showing that manufacturers are recognizing this craving for the physical. It's about capturing a moment with all its imperfections rather than sanitizing it into digital perfection. But that's not it. I'm noticing amongst my friends and I a desire for what I call an iPod shuffle experience. We want to return to a time when screens were optional. Remember the pure joy of an iPod? No notifications, no endless scrolling, just your music or a Sony Walkman. People are craving this focused, singular purpose technology. We're seeing a subtle but growing demand for dumb phones or dedicated music players. It's a profound pushback against screen fatigue and digital overwhelm. We want to enjoy our content without being constantly bombarded by the rest of the digital universe. It's about being present with one form of media at a time, escaping the tyranny of the endless scroll. And then there's the undeniable comeback of Polaroids and vinyl. Polaroids, with their instant physical prints, have been experiencing a massive resurgence. A report by Data Intello estimates the global Polaroid market size to grow from 1.3 billion in 2023 to 2.5 billion by 2032, boasting a compound annual growth rate of 8.2%. So, what's the driving force? Well, millennials and Gen Z, who deeply value the tangible and immediate nature of these physical prints, are the ones who are most likely going to drive this growth. There's an immediacy, an unrepeatability to a Polaroid that a digital file simply can't capture. If you're enjoying this content so far, I encourage you to subscribe and comment below with which parts are really resonating with you. Similarly, vinyl records continue their incredible upward trajectory. The Recording Industry Association of America reported that vinyl revenues hit an astonishingly $1.4 billion in 2024, marking the highest for the format since 1984. For the third consecutive year, vinyl has outsold CDs, with 44 million units shipped in 2024. This isn't solely about sound quality, although audiophiles might debate that. Sound quality is very important. But I think it's about the ritual of putting on a record, the immersive experience of the artwork, the physical connection to the music. It's about owning something, truly owning it. In an age of streaming as a service, I mean, almost everything as a service, and ephemeral digital files, people want to experience ownership again. So, why are we seeing this widespread gravitation towards the tangible, the old school? This is where we delve deeper beyond mere trends into the philosophical underpinnings. I'm about to get deep, but trust me, we'll come right back up. I believe it's a profound reaction to our increasingly post reality world. We are living in an era where AI can generate hyper realistic images and videos, where virtual reality blurs the lines between digital and physical, and where deepfakes challenge our very perception of truth. This isn't to say that these technologies are inherently evil, but their rapid proliferation has created a subtle but pervasive anxiety about what's real, what's authentic, and what's manipulated. In this environment, there's a powerful craving for the unvarnished, the imperfect, the human experience. This brings me to the profound insights of the German philosopher and cultural critic Walter Benjamin, particularly his seminal 1936 essay, The Work of Art in the Age of Mechanical Reproduction. He argued that mechanical reproduction, like photography and film, stripped a work of art of its aura. But what did Benjamin mean by the word aura? He defined it as the unique, essential essence of a work of art, derived from its presence in time and space, its originality, its history, its singular existence. Painting, for example, has an aura because it's a unique object crafted by a specific artist at a specific time, bearing the marks of its creation and its journey throughout history. When it's mechanically reproduced, say as a print or a digital image, it loses that singular presence. It loses its aura. I don't know why I keep saying aura like that. It's like aura. All right, let's keep going. Now, here is where it gets fascinating. Gen Z, often dismissed as digitally native and disconnected, has started to adopt the slang term aura. That person has a good aura, or that place has a bad aura, or they're trying to dim my aura. I've heard it used in so many different contexts. I believe what they're instinctively getting at, perhaps without even realizing it, is precisely what Benjamin meant. They're seeking the unique, the authentic, the essential vibe or essence of a person, a place, or an experience that cannot be replicated or faked. They're seeking something that transcends mere data points. In a world saturated with copies, filters, and AI generated content, we are collectively yearning for the original, for the genuine, for the aura that comes from a unique, tangible, and unmediated experience. This is why a vintage camera photo feels more real than a heavily filtered selfie, why a vinyl record feels more authentic than a streamed playlist, and why a physical Polaroid holds more weight than a digital album. It's a desire to feel something real again, to have experiences that are inherently unique and singular. Beyond the desire for authenticity, the nostalgia economy is also a quiet rebellion against the overwhelming and often extractive nature of our digital lives. People are craving a withdrawal, not from society, but from digital overwhelm, from the relentless notifications, the algorithmic feeds, and the constant demand for our attention. It's a pushback against a digital hierarchy that often leaves us feeling more isolated than truly connected. This brings us to a crucial dimension of this phenomenon, the profound desire for privacy and autonomy in an increasingly data driven world. An age where our data is constantly collected, analyzed, and monetized, the appeal of screenless tech or devices that aren't constantly tracking our every move becomes profoundly attractive. People are asking, who owns my data? Who is benefiting from my attention? And do these systems truly have my best interests at heart? This quest for control over our personal information and digital experiences aligns perfectly with the insights of contemporary thinkers. Let's start with Carissa Veliz, author of the compelling book privacy is power. Elise argues that in our data driven world, privacy isn't just a preference, but a fundamental form of control. That our personal information is, in fact, a source of power. When we relinquish control over our data, we've relinquished a part of our autonomy and open ourselves up to manipulation and exploitation. The nostalgia economy then can be seen as an unconscious effort to reclaim that power by opting for technologies and experiences that inherently collect less, track less, and demand less of our digital selves. This broader desire to step off the digital treadmill to choose a more intentional relationship with technology is a core theme in Cal Newport's influential work, Digital Minimalism: Choosing a Focused Life in a Noisy World. Newport meticulously details the cognitive and emotional costs of constant connectivity and algorithmic optimization. He argues that true digital minimalism isn't about shunning technology entirely, far from it, but about thoughtfully curating our digital lives to serve our deepest values rather than becoming slaves to the demands of platforms. Appeal of analog, of focused devices, of single purpose tools is a practical manifestation of this desire for a less cluttered, more meaningful digital experience. It's about regaining control over our precious attention. Finally, this deeper desire to return to privacy isn't just about abstract concerns or lifestyle choices, it's about protecting fundamental aspects of our human experience, as powerfully articulated by legal scholar Danielle Keats-Citron in her vital book, The Fight for Privacy: Protecting Dignity, Identity, and Love in the Digital Age. Citron illustrates in chilling detail how the erosion of privacy impacts our dignity, our identity, and even our ability to form authentic, trusting relationships. She highlights the very real harms that come from privacy invasions, from online harassment and doxing to algorithmic discrimination and the erosion of personal space. It's also a yearning for a digital environment where our intrinsic human value and our right to be ourselves are respected. It's a desire for a return to a baseline of digital safety and respect. So let's look at a recent example. Jack Dorsey, the founder of Twitter, now called X, recently released a new messaging protocol called BitChat, which attempts to rely on Bluetooth rather than internet for communication, aiming for decentralization and privacy. However, initial journalistic reviews like those from TechCrunch immediately exposed significant security flaws, allowing for account spoofing and undermining its core promise of privacy. This kind of incident only amplifies the public's distrust. Good intentions are there, but the execution often falls short, or the underlying architecture is inherently vulnerable, reinforcing urgent need for genuine privacy solutions. I believe the nostalgia economy isn't a temporary blip. It's a powerful indicator of a shifting value system, a collective unconscious pushback against a digitally saturated existence. You will likely see more innovation focused on truly enhancing human experience rather than just maximizing engagement. This could mean more tactile products, more privacy preserving technologies, and more tools that encourage focused engagement rather than endless consumption. It will likely foster a greater appreciation for craftsmanship, for local businesses, for experiences that can't be replicated virtually. It's about a collective longing for the human experience in its purest forms, the simple joy of genuine connection, the satisfaction of creating something with your hands, and the peace of mind that comes from being present in the moment. It's a powerful statement about what we value as humans, a reevaluation of our relationship with technology, and a yearning for a future where connection feels more authentic, more human, and deeply satisfying. This pursuit of aura and autonomy will, I believe, continue to shape consumer choices and drive innovation in profound ways for years to come. So, thank you for joining me on this exploration of the nostalgia economy. Don't forget to subscribe and let me know your thoughts below. See you next time, and back to writing my dissertation.